In your experience, can you tell us why you believe estate planning is so important?
Well, the number one important thing about estate planning is you don't want to leave that up to the probate courts. Right. So when you have a solid estate planning in place, you're going to avoid probate and you're going to save a lot of money for your heirs. Mm-hmm. So that's always highly recommended. Whenever I talk to any prospect, that's always my first question. Do you have a will? Do you have a living trust? Do you know, what happens if you become incapacitated? Do you have a power of attorney just in case, you know, you can't make financial decisions for yourself? You know, what happens if you're in a car accident and there's no one, you know, around? Do you have a durable power of attorney for healthcare? Right. You know, in case you can no longer make medical decisions for yourself.
Right. I think it's, and I was talking about this with another attorney. Maybe it's a lack of knowledge and awareness, but I think people don't give it enough importance or believe that it'll happen to them, right? Like, oh, nothing's going to happen to me. Or it's a very painful thought to think like I might die and what's going to happen to my assets. So many families that I've encountered, especially with probate, that's when I come in to sell their house, people didn't want to talk about an estate plan. It was something that people just don't want to talk about. So
right.
Bringing awareness to that. And with your experience, of course, it's so valuable because I'm sure you see all these scenarios and all these cases.
Yes. There's always lots of scenarios. And I'm just surprised by the number of people who have been just high profile cases in the press of individuals who didn't properly, you know, plan for their estate. We had Britney Spears, we have Jay Leno, Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys. Those are all very high profile celebrity cases where one would think they would have taken the time to, you know, make a proper estate plan for themselves.
Right. I had a case in which, or a transaction in which the family members owned 10 houses in Silicon Valley in San Francisco. So their estate was worth a lot of money. And they did not have an estate plan, so they had to go through the probate court. And I think they ended up paying over $150,000 for attorney fees for someone to manage their estate. So like you mentioned, these cases that you're mentioning, I wasn't aware of those, but I know it's very common that people don't take care of their stuff or even update their estate plan.
Right. It's just, I think it's just an awkward, uncomfortable topic that people just don't want to talk about.
Right.
I just don't know why people put it off, but yeah, it just happens all of the time.
Right. And for us that we're in this industry, maybe it's more normalized. I know when I talk about death to people, they're like, okay, here she goes again, telling us to create our estate plan.